Hey everybody, just a quick announcement before I go ahead and get going into the unboxing. If you want to jump through all of that and just get to the demonstration or the look at it, I'll put the timestamp in the description so you can go ahead and jump ahead. It's okay. No one's going to judge you much. Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio. I'm Steve Atkinson, and you can tell from the title of this video that this is going to be a review, an unboxing and a review. This is the first review I've done on the channel, not because I have anything against it, but I'm starting to be contacted by different companies who are interested in having me review some of their products. And it's probably been 6 or 8 so far, and this is the first one, and there's another one that I've accepted, but the other ones were for products that I don't really use. So I just don't feel like I'm qualified to review some products like, watercolor pencils, things like that. But this is the Huion GT-191, which is a drawing tablet. And I am familiar with those. So let me go ahead and get into the unboxing here. We'll just say that Huion got in touch with me, asked me if I would do a review, an honest review, and I said I'd be happy to. And that was the only condition, was that I have to be honest with you guys about my impressions on this. So just throw that out of the way. All right, so here's the box. It's actually quite heavy. It's probably got to be 15 pounds if it's anything. So let me go ahead and open this up. And the reason that I agreed to go ahead and review this is that before I was a fine artist, I was an illustrator for 25 years or so. And at least the last half of that was done digitally. So I'm real familiar with using, at least Wacom tablets. All right. So let me go ahead and pull you in, give you a close-up, and let's see what's in the box. Well, here is my trusty Wacom Intuos 3. It's a 6x8. This is the tablet that I use every day since I got it at the end of 2004. So it's pretty much a dinosaur, but it's a workhorse and it has never let me down. Okay, so there's that one. The other one that I have is an XP Pen Star 6 wireless 2.4G graphics drawing tablet. I bought this in the end of 2017, a couple years ago, to use as my backup when my laptop was my secondary computer. And it comes with a rechargeable pen. So inside the tablet box, you get all the cables that you need to get started. This includes the power cord, an HDMI cable, USB cable, and of course the artist drawing glove, which keeps your tablet from getting too grubby. There are 2 rechargeable pens, and so you do need to keep them charged, but so far it's not been a problem for a couple reasons. First, the charge lasts a long time. I've been using the pen for over a week now, and it's still going strong on its initial charge. And second, it comes with a second pen. So just keep the second one charging until the first charge is spent. The pens are hard plastic. There's no soft rubber on the grip, as with other tablet pens. But honestly, these pens have a nice sculpted design that fits really easily with your hand. And so I haven't had any cramping or fatigue problems. Still, the rubber grip would be a nice touch to make this feel a bit higher end. There's the pen holder with 8 replacement nibs. Though I have to say, in the 14 or 15 years I've been using my Wacom tablet, I've never even once had to replace a nib. So I doubt that I'll need them, but you know what that old quote is? It's better to have them and not need them than to need them and find out you can't get replacements anymore, or something like that. Next in the box, we find the tablet stand. I'll talk about the installation in a little bit, but it's pretty simple. You know, it really is much better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't have a lot of hope for it, but it's very stable, and it's really easy to adjust using this finger lever, and you can bring it to just about any angle that you want. Almost flat, although I think it would start crimping the cables if you did that. And you can bring it up. Uh-oh, it's kind of dusty. Hey, don't judge. Don't judge. That's not nice. So, I may eventually get some kind of a swing extension arm because the space on my desk is so much at a premium. It would be nice to be able to get this up and off of the desk and out of the way. But for now, this is a really nice design and it's very stable. I never feel like as I'm drawing on it, it's wobbly. So far, so good. This round card has instructions on downloading and installing the driver on your tablet. This is very important. Muy importante. Luckily, installing the driver is easy. Just make sure to choose your model and your correct operating system. Both PC and Mac are available, so you got that going for you. You got your warranty card. You got your customer support card and how to get in contact with them, just in case anything goes wrong. Very important. And of course, you've got your quick start guide to get you up and running in a hurry. And now the star of our show, the Huion GT-191 Kamvas. I think it's the Kamvas 20. Here's the back of it, and you can see where all the cords and cables go. You have room for your HDMI, you have room for your power cord, and the one on the right there, well, that's your USB cord, or your USB. Here's all the fun little buttons on the front that you can press to screw things up. And here's what it looks like all put together on a turntable that I tried to do as smoothly as I could, but I suck at it, so don't judge. But seriously, all of this is great, and it looks like a beautiful monitor, beautiful drawing tablet, but how does it work? That's the most important thing, right? Well, let's get at it. First of all, let me say, overall, I'm really pretty happy with this monitor, with this drawing tablet. I think it does just about everything that it's supposed to do really well. But there are a few places where it falls short. Let's take a look at the film, the optional film that you can use to cover your screen. Included in the box is a slightly textured film that you have the option of using or not. I suppose the purpose of it is first to protect the screen, and second, it makes the surface feel a bit more like traditional paper. You have that feedback, that drag. I was very careful when I applied it, but I still got some small air bubbles. Not a big problem, but you should know it's not easy to get a bubble-free surface. Also, this film is not completely transparent, and so it does mute the colors just a little bit. Another thing I immediately noticed with the film, and ultimately decided to tear it off and use the screen au naturel, was that the pen nib would slightly scratch the surface of the film. Here you can see what it looked like after just a few hours of use. I can only imagine how it would look after a few months. And I draw with a light touch, so it wasn't because I was drawing with a heavy hand. Lots and lots of users choose not to use the film, and you quickly get used to the way the pen works on the smooth glass. I've been drawing on the glass for a week or more and have not gotten any scratches. But if that's something you're worried about, you can use the film and protect your screen. Here's the monitor, all set up on my desk. I use the keyboard for shortcuts as I'm drawing, and I have it hooked up to my laptop. So when we go into the stylus pen panel, you see a little drawing or little photo of the stylus pen, and you can control both of these buttons. There's one here, there's one up on top, and there's one below. I have them set up so that they're the bracket keys, the left and the right bracket. And what that does is that allows me to increase and decrease the size of the brush as I'm working. So I just press these keys and the brush will go ahead and change the size. Now I can do that with my left and right bracket keys on my keyboard here, but it's nice to not have to have that hand working and doing that, okay? So we go over to the work area. You tell it which display you want to deal with, which is this display here that we've got now. You tell it the size of the area, and I just always have it set to full area. And you can do monitor calibration, but really what you're doing is you are correcting the parallax. And the parallax, it's a big word that just simply means that where your pen touches the glass is not always the same place as where it will show up on your display. And so by calibrating here, by clicking where that red dot is, it's going to calibrate where the parallax is. And so once you do that, then it's calibrated, and then you click apply. And then about just will tell you about the company. Now you're ready to go. Almost. If you're going to be doing this for any kind of print work, you need to calibrate your monitor. You need to make sure that the colors that you have here are accurate with the colors that you have here. Because I've already calibrated this display, I will go ahead and set up my calibration for this monitor. Now, let me just tell you, I tried using the menu down here. Let me move this out of the way. The menu, it'll bring up different settings, brightness, contrast, things like that. I find that this came nowhere near calibration settings were on my laptop. So I went ahead and I calibrated the machine using Spider Pro Elite, which is this. And I'll go ahead and put a quick little time lapse up there of me running that program. And I'll see you on the other side. So if you do digital art, fine art prints, you know that your monitor isn't always accurate. Get yourself one of these programs, run it every month or so, and it'll save you a lot of headaches in the long run. It doesn't take long. Okay, so here we are. This is the size of the monitor. This is actually the size of what I was using. So this is almost 3 times the size of what I had been using. So it's an incredibly vast improvement size-wise over what I was using. But let's go ahead and get into a little bit of drawing, and let's see how it reacts. Always start out with the easy stuff. So I use simple brushes, a hard edge brush, 100%, and then I go over to pressure sensitive size adjustment brushes just to see how that pressure sensitivity is. And I really have to say, very, very responsive, even when you increase the size of the brush. Now, I did see that the brush was repeating, that the spacing on it was too far. So I went in and reduced the size of the spacing down just to a few %. And then you're not able to see that repeating circle. It's very responsive. I have no complaints on that. I did want to show you one of the tests I'd like to do is you take a straight edge, you draw a horizontal line, and you draw a vertical line. You use non-pressure sensitive, just a hard edge, 100% hard brush, and then you try it in the, those are absolutely straight. Then you try it in the diagonal, and oftentimes you're going to see jitter. And there was a little lag there. And yep, true to form, you can see there's some jitter there. Now, honestly, that's not the way you're normally going to be drawing a straight line. if you're in Photoshop, you just hold the Shift key down and you draw a horizontal line. You hold the Shift key down and you do the same. You draw a vertical line, and then just holding down the Shift key, you do two different brushes, where it starts and where it ends, and you get a perfectly straight line. So not a big deal, but I did want you to see that. And I also wanted to show you what the parallax looked like after I did my monitor adjustment. You can see how where the brush touches down and where it actually shows up on your tablet. It's not exactly the same, but this is off to an angle a little bit, and it's pretty darn close, I have to say. I did not think that it would be able to get this close. But really, it all comes down to how it performs, right? Well, I'm happy to say that I didn't have any trouble when I was working on the sketch here. I asked the pen to do all the normal things that I would ask any other drawing pen to do, and it responded really very easily, and I've got no complaints with it. And even when I went in and started texturing and working underneath the line drawing, it was great. I gotta tell you, I'm kind of shocked at how good it performed. So now, granted, what I asked it to do here wasn't brain surgery, but it responded great, and I would trust taking on and using this tablet to do commercial work, at least for the black and white. Let's try it with something a little more challenging, though. Before I do that, there's a little problem that we lefties have that I didn't realize that we had, but all of the scroll bars in Photoshop and most other places are on the right-hand side. Well, if I'm drawing with my pen, I'm completely covering up the brushes, so I have to hold it upside down, or I have to use my mouse like this. There's no way around it. If anybody knows of a workaround, let me know, but I haven't found anything yet. Well, I didn't notice until after I stopped working on this piece and looked at the recording. There's this terrible pattern, this moire pattern on her face. It's not on the screen. It just, for some reason, with the camera recording, I guess who knows? If you know what I'm doing wrong, would you please put it down in the comment section? I know there's got to be some kind of setting. So anyways, I won't subject you to this. I did a screen recording. Let's take a look at that. There we go. That's much better. I chose to do a young girl because, yes, she's a fairy. You got a problem with that? But I chose to do a girl because, you know, the skin is so smooth. You need a lot of control in order to make her look good. And so I just wanted to see what kind of control I would be able to get on this. And, you know, although she's far from finished, you know, I'm just kind of in the middle of her right now. I had a lot of control. I didn't have any problems with pressure sensitivity or responsiveness for the brushes that I was using. And I was using some complicated brushes along the way. Though I will say that depending on how complicated the brush is, at times, and I never seem to be able to duplicate it, at times the brushes can slow way down. I don't know whether that's because of this tablet or the pen or the interface between the tablet and my laptop, but I don't have that problem when I'm working either on my Wacom or on my laptop. So it's something to be aware of. Should you consider buying this and using this as your screen? Well, let me tell you about my initial impressions. Obviously, it's a beautiful monitor. When I first saw it and first started working on it, I have to say this was a big monitor. You know, coming from a small screen, it took me a while before I felt comfortable flying around on this screen. It's almost too big, but I will get used to it, and I know I'm going to love it as far as the size goes. Now, the cons, there are a few. The Huion line has other monitors that have many more express keys. Although for me, I prefer not to have them. You may want to consider whether or not you need those shortcut keys. Also, the customer service and repairs, well, since this is a company in China, a big question mark is, should you need service, how would you have that happen? Would you have to send it back over? How long would it take? That kind of thing. Really, I just suggest looking at the website, taking a look at the problems and their solution for how they deal with problems. I know with the warranty card, you have 7 days to return the product if you don't like it. The color calibration tools in the menu on the tablet, while they'd be great for gaming or for watching movies, they're not as robust as I would like to see them for those of us that do graphics commercially or digitally. So if you're going to get this machine, just know that you're going to have to also get yourself a third-party software, such as the Spider line of color calibration software. But you know, since you're working digitally, you should have calibration software anyways. So I don't really view this as an add-on. If you're going to be working digitally, you need to have calibration software working for you. And the last two, sometimes things that happen. One is occasionally I find that the pen will slow down if I'm using complicated brushes, particularly if I'm zoomed in. Happens seldom, but it does happen. And the eyedropper tool sometimes sticks when I use the Option key in Photoshop, and I have to tap it a couple times to get it back to the brush. And that's it. Now for the pros. Well, the pros vastly outweigh the cons on this. I know I started with the cons, but there's so much good about this product. Obviously, it's a great value versus quality. All you have to do is do some pricing, and you'll see that this is an amazing value for a really good quality monitor. For a wish list, I wish you could use your fingers on it and pinch to zoom and rotate, but you need to use your pen in order for it to work. But that's a little thing. There are good advanced controls when you go in and you set up your pen and you set up your calibration as far as the parallax goes. The brush response is excellent. It does what I want it when I want it to do. And you know, the stand on this, even though, like I said, I'm probably going to put it on an extension arm and be able to swing it up and out of the way off of the desk, but I wouldn't have to. You know, it's a really nice, stable, easily adjustable stand. I really have to take my hat off to them for that. And you get 2 rechargeable pens. So I know that some monitors don't require you to charge your pens. They charge when you're touching the screen. But since you've got 2 pens, you just keep one plugged in. And when the first one goes out, you plug the second one in. Piece of cake. Phew. Well, that'll just about do it. Thanks to Huion for sending out the tablet for me to review. By the way, if there's any other companies out there like, I don't know, steak companies or people who make red Ferraris, you want to send one? I'm pretty good at reviewing those too. So, anyways, thank you guys. You deserve some kind of a medal for taking it to the end here. But I hope that this has helped you to know a little bit more about this tablet. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If I don't know the answer, I'll try and look it up for you. But I don't know Windows operating systems. I'm purely an Apple guy. You know, any questions about Windows machines? Sorry, can't help you. All right, well, I'm going to turn off the lights now and close up the studio. Thank you all. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and like and subscribe. It really helps whenever you hit the like button, so it'd be a great favor to me. So get out there and live the draw, paint, repeat life, and as always, I'll see you down the road.